Morning.
Morning, Nancy Jean. How was your Saturday?
I did a silly thing. I decided they had this beginning, just try us out Pilates class. And I went and I tried it out, and I got through about 3/4 of what they wanted you to do. And then I realized it probably wasn't for me anyway. So I sat politely and watched everybody else finish. And there was a lady about my age who has bone spurs who was there because they wanted her to stretch her spine. And I didn't feel bad. I just said it was awkward and it was very difficult for me to get into it looks like a medieval torture. Anyway, I got home and I was supposed to teach a class and I was sick. And I called the lady I was supposed to do a reading for on my way home and said, I feel horrible and I can't do this. So I found another mark on my march to things I can't do anymore. I don't think at the height of my life I could have done that though. So
what about water aerobics or water therapy?
Water aerobics I can do if I can find a place that has some here. That's the problem. And also a lot of water aerobics got stopped with COVID.
True.
And even though they're open and they're back, from my friends in public health, I understand it's on the rise. So it's like, pick your poison. Do you want to have a chubby little shrivel up inside body, or do you want to have one that can't breathe? I mean,
True. Good morning, Deanne.
Yes, I'll just go outside and walk, but I won't walk today because it feels like it's 30 degrees outside. So I realize in Wisconsin, if you didn't walk in that weather, you'd never get anywhere. But here, that's kind of an exception.
Yeah, currently it is 30 degrees. It's going to be a chilly week.
Aha.
Did McCarthy hand his papers for the election to replace him? What does that mean, Nancy?
He has to state he's not running for the office, and then the state has to set up a date and a time for their special elections, and that's all based on whatever your state laws are.
Right.
I know what they are in Texas. I don't know it, but you have to formally resign for them to run someone for the place.
And yeah, I see Santos's elections in February. Usually that's the first time they can usually do it.
Well, some of them are just appointed again by the governor, to finish out their term.
In the House? In the House?
I don't know. I mean, Senate, I know they do. But we've had it, and if they die, they have a certain amount of time that they have to put the election up. But if the person's still living and is still elected to the office, like McCarthy is, if he sat on his ass and did nothing, but see, if he withdraws, if he turns his paperwork in and says you don't have a person in that seat, that puts their margin down to 2? And there's another guy that's threatening to not come back that I saw flash by a news feed yesterday. So now they're down to 1.
Yeah, there's a guy already retiring. I think his name's Johnson, Benny Johnson or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're down to 1 at January 1st.
Right. And apparently now Marjorie Taylor Greene is on Johnson's butt, the new Speaker of the House, and they're going after Gaetz. So if they throw Gaetz out, then they're to nothing. Then our vision of Hakeem Jeffries being Speaker of the House may become very real.
Yeah, I guess according to reports, the ethics is moving on Gaetz. I guess he's secretly more hated than people think.
Well, I think there are a lot of people who think he made the whole thing look like they're totally out to lunch. And I mean, we knew they were if your head was screwed on straight, but even if you couldn't see it at all, I mean, before, you can kind of see that they're not.
Yeah, if they could have got quality testimony or witnesses on the other case with Greenberg, he would have been indicted already. But our senses were that it couldn't get, you know, a good enough witness because they're all criminals.
Yeah.
You know, the chance was too high. You'd probably get walk from bad witnesses.
Oh, and we now have a Republican running Houston, which ought to be interesting because all the rest, they had a special mayor's election. And the woman who was running against him had been in the House of Representatives.
Barbara Lee.
Yeah. And she lost.
I see the guy won 65 to 34 or whatever.
Yeah.
He says he's a Democrat, right?
What? She's a Democrat. But what they had originally, they had 18 people running for the seat. And in Texas, all elections, it has to be 50% plus one. So when she ran against this guy, he had tons of money, and the Republicans have been tearing the place up. And this is a weird time of year to have an election. And I guess the Dems just didn't work hard enough because there's a lot more Dems in Houston.
Mm-hmm. What'd they say? 1.2 million voters or something registered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pegasus, I believe Democrats, America will be happy January 2025.
If the Republicans keep getting each other off, we'll be happy in January of 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was. Let's see, the DNC. The DNC needs to put some money into Texas.
That's true. We were Rose Blue. You're right. We were the ATM for the Democratic Party. When I was first working with it in the early 2000s, I'd go to all these luncheons, and I was what they called a cadaver. It was to have a body there, and big law firms would all pool their money and they'd give it to the candidates. But if a candidate wants to collect the money, they have to personally come to the state and get the checks. And so they'd have a little luncheon or something for them because they try to make a deal out of it. And I got to go to a lot of really good luncheons. And of course, I dress up pretty good and I looked older. I wasn't like they took their junior law clerks and sent them. But that's how I met Sheldon Whitehouse before he ever ran, and I met the woman from Minnesota when she came through in 2006 getting money for her race. And that's how I ended up running the big event we did with Barack Obama in Lee Park with Harry Reid and Joe Biden. They wanted these guys decided we're not going to hide them at a luncheon. We're going to have a big event. And they kept saying, do you think you can get 500 people to the park to see him? This was in 2005. And I said, yeah, I think so. And we got 5,000. So we had Air America at the time, though, to help us advertise it. So it's a lot. It was a beautiful event.
Yeah. Thank God for Mark Elias. Because we need it, like in Texas, you need to stop all this voter suppression and run elections properly.
That would be lovely.
Oh, with your wrench, you just find trolls, Christine. But trolls have been pretty quiet on our channel here. I haven't seen many in a long time.
The last time we had one was when we had Sean come visit us and discuss politics directly. That was one guy who was a troll when you went back and looked. He's the one that demanded we read cards. We don't need someone from politics to tell us anything. Oh.
People.
Silly people.
You try to do something different and get some information out there.
Well, the last thing they want is real information going out.
Right. Okay. 2024. Astrologer predicts some states may succeed.
Secede. First of all, the astrologer that predicted that lives in England. She does, and I love her to death. I think a lot of her stuff's really good, but she doesn't watch TV, and she has no ideas how our laws work. and she thinks we're still running around like when we broke away from Britain. It the only states that want to secede couldn't support themselves, and I live in one of them. And there are people here who are putting forth things, and they do this all the time. The last time they did it kind of in force was when Hillary was running against the Trumpster, and Sarah Palin's husband was in charge of one of the states. He was in charge of the secessionist group in Alaska. And then there's this guy who was in charge of the secessionist groups in California. And there was another guy that's from Texas who was running around talking it up here. If you go look at all their addresses, except I think Sarah Palin's husband still lives in Alaska. But the other two guys have apartments in Moscow. Last major report I read on what the secessionists do when it's not secessionist season. They must really not want to be here. They're living in Moscow now. So
yeah, so I know it's silly because states rely too much on federal money. They would never have it. It couldn't be sustained. And that's what the cards say too. They need federal money to survive, and it won't happen. So in the end, it would just be a bunch of chaos with the 5 of Wands. Then we have the Hermit. You made a mistake. You have to think about it. Page of Swords. And the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords would mean it's not sustainable. And I had the need for money. Page of Coins, King of Coins, and Hierophant. They need federal funds to survive. So, no, it would never happen. Oh, darn it. All the cards fell.
Scott, just throw your cards around, why don't you? Yeah, this is going nowhere. This is the 5 of Pentacles, the people walking outside in the snow. That would be their fate. It's based on a bunch of lies and misstatements to people. It plays on people's fears, their hidden fears, the moon reversed. This is the most important one. They don't got the bucks to do it. But it's a nice thought for them to sit on the edge of the cliff and say, oh, but we could always go and do this. It's not going to happen.
Didn't you say it was found out some Russian trolls were kind of behind the movement?
Oh yeah, the guy that, like I said, the two guys I know of, one was in Texas and one was in California, that had the last real big, we need to secede because we just can't stand living in this. Of course, they shut up as soon as Trump got elected, but yeah, they have apartments in Moscow. The other one who has an apartment in Moscow is David Duke. So.
Oh, dear. Do you think past Texas governors let the Saudis buy oil companies there?
Okay. Some of the ones that happened, they were the large national oil companies, and they weren't all in Texas. A lot of them were headquartered in Louisiana. I don't know. I mean, why not sell the only asset you have and then say, oh my God, they're taking from us? You know, what they did is the ones who sold out got their money out and they're okay. And the rest of us can go burn. Oil companies are not nice people.
Drift. Okay. Let's see what the outcome may be of the Colorado Supreme Court and the 14th Amendment. They're basically deciding if the president is an officer.
Did he pledge allegiance to the United States? I mean,
yes, he did.
Yes, I mean, I think it's only 35 words long. You know, if you count the oath of office. I'm going to see if we're going to have it before Texas. That's before Christmas.
To me, it feels like after the new year. I don't.
No, I don't see it before. No, I got
Hi,
no,
Debbie.
no.
Okay, doing the right thing. A judgment coming, showing the light.
Mm-hmm.
These cards are telling me they're going to be in favor of removal.
Mm-hmm.
According to my cards here.
Keeping them off. I didn't ask about that. I just said, would it be before Christmas? It said no, but they know I had the 6 of coins, which means they know they have to come up with a ruling one way or the other. So it will have it in time. On Ballotpedia this week, I got one of their reports, and it was all of the filing dates that you have to get on the primary ballots for all the different states. And theirs is in January sometime. You have to have your name on the ballot. So
this is my ending cards. Here's the justice card. Here's January 6th, and here's good outcome. Equals positive influence.
Good.
So anyway, it's going to go to the Supreme Court anyway. In the past, I have basically the total failure of our government. What's supposed to happen and good with Knight of Cups. Right. Here's the devil, and here's the 10 of It was a complete failure that day. And then I have positive influence, the sun, and here's a judgment. 3 of coins is a judgment. So according to these cards, it says it would be a positive ruling, but we all know it's going to the Supreme Court. If they take it. Unfortunately, those fools gotta look at it too, I guess.
They don't have to. They may say no. That's that state's business. They set the ballot terms. We're not going to bow into it.
All this interpretation is ridiculous. It is self-executing. There was someone I was listening to or whatever and explained it really well. Maybe it was that hearing.
I had the opportunity to go to law school. My dad said, if you pass the thing to get in, I'll help you. And I didn't do it because I didn't want to deal with this kind of crap all the time. And now I get to deal with this kind of crap all the time, really.
That's a good point, Rose. If SCOTUS rules, it's federal.
Right.
Well, all states have to do it. It's still got to be a legal argument, technically. I mean, it's a big controversy. I mean, it should be a simple thing, but let's say a Republican Secretary of State is like, no, I'm not gonna.
Oh, that's what happens when anything hits this state. We get the fools down there. And we have the supreme fools right now in the country.
Okay. We got the Trump show. He's supposed to.
Do we have to lay cards on this, Scott, or can we just throw them up in the air and no matter what lands, we know what the answer is?
Yeah. He's supposed to testify tomorrow. Rumors he's afraid to go. Many commentators or people who are following it are saying he won't show up.
He's not going to say, I mean, he's already said so many stupid things and nobody pays attention to it. I don't understand why sitting on the bench like that would make it all. I realize he's under oath, but unless they're going to cart his chubby little butt off to jail, if he lies, what are they going to do? Oh dear. Okay. I got, when they're reversed for me, it means no. And I asked, will there be any grand revelations or any changes from the testimony? No. I got no. And I got a no. I got the King of Swords upside down. I got the King of Pentacles upside down. No. I got the 10 of Cubs upside down, no. And the only one that's right side up is Letitia James is going to get something that just cements what the fate of this whole thing is. I mean, it's really stupid. Why would you testify when the judge has already said you're guilty? Your company committed fraud.
Yeah, there's something about 6 other counts or something that could be thrown away.
Okay. Well, they're not going to be, so.
There's something. I was listening to one of the podcasts, and one of the lawyers said, well, the judge could throw out the fraud on the insurance claims, saying that was their responsibility to check up, the insurance costs, And he goes, that could save face. The other counts, fly.
Yeah, but the other for tax evasion and stuff, isn't it?
Right. Yeah,
Well,
but like I said, there's other 6 counts, but he was just saying, well, I could throw, and Goran can throw out that one, and then it looked like he wasn't biased, and because it's really nothing. It's all about, the big money. But yeah, I got it's going to be big money in the end here. Magician, Queen of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and Strength.
Oh dear.
Yeah, 45 is hose in this one. It's going to be big money. With
Not just big money, his ability to do any more business. And now
he won't. Yeah.
And now that they're catching him having done a run around the special master that was overseeing his assets while they did this.
45 is going to be a 3 of Swords moment coming up here. So I have his happy home with the Trump org's going to have a 3 of Swords. There's going to be a change with a 2 of Swords here. Assessing the situation at hand. Him showing up, it feels like he's still evaluating if he's going to show up, but if he does, it's going to be a Tower. I got a Tower, Fool, and Temperance on him showing up. So to me, it's like, if he does show up, it's going to be a Tower. He's foolish to do so in there. It's nonsense. But Temperance is kind of the waiting and thinking of what he should do. So what I'm sensing, it's not 100% sure because he doesn't even know if he's going to show up. I mean, but his mind's crazy. We can't even get into it properly anymore.
Oh, he's going to show up. I think he's going to show up. I just asked if he's going to show up because he thinks he can turn everything to the way he wants it to be. But this time he's running into the world upside down.
Well, I meant testify.
Okay, I know, but he's also
he could sit there and say, "No, I'm not going to testify now."
Yeah, but no, I think he's going to testify because he thinks he can control it. I know. I mean, look, the little guy with the thing, and he thinks he can make them believe what he sees when he looks up, but they don't. They see what really went on, and they see that the whole family's a frigging mess.
The last time he was there, it was just a campaign speech.
I know.
And Goran kept yelling at him. Get to the facts, ma'am. Brittany Hicks in Ohio arrested for a felony for miscarriage. Oh my God. Ohio. Jesus.
That's okay. We got a woman who could die if it goes on, and the judge heard it already in Texas and said, no, this suits the life of the mother exception. And 10 minutes after the judge said that, Paxton was on the TV and said, that woman better not leave this state or go anywhere else. She's a mother with 2 kids. And Paxton is a man with 7 federal indictments against him, and he's still sitting there telling other people what to do.
Is that her name?
No. Brittany Hicks is in Ohio. This woman's name is
You talking about one in Texas?
Yeah, the woman in Texas. She actually lives in the Dallas area. But she had her hearing in Travis County.
No, I just tried to Google about the situation. I couldn't find it.
You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
You said the magic words, and my Google thing heard it, and it was talking to you, Scott.
That's sensitive.
Yeah, she's from the kitchen. She was saying, "You're not properly connected to the Google Home app." So quit talking to my machine, Scott.
I didn't mean to.
I know.
Let's see. Do we want to look at Brittany Hicks? I'm sure there's a case there.
Oh, I'm sure it's true. How could they? Didn't Ohio just pass that abortion's legal?
The citizens did.
The citizens did, and that's a binding referendum in their state.
Oh, but Republicans are appealing that or something. They're trying to work around it. But there's no law in that effect because the will of the people, they got to create a law to change that, but it hasn't been done yet.
Okay, the pregnant woman in Texas, his name is Kate Cox.
In Texas, yes.
So let's see if I can find Brittany Hicks.
What's the Brittany? That the one in Ohio feels like it's going to take a while to straighten out. I think she's on her current path of being a felon.
I don't know. The only one I can find is some woman found dead in South Carolina. So it's obviously not the one.
I think Fatima.
Anyway.
Yeah, she's gonna go through some dark times, and Eight of Swords are locked up, changing. Truth will come out eventually. Legal fight. Eventually, she's gonna get justice. It's not gonna be a felony, but with the Eight of Swords, she's gonna be in a situation for a while.
And you got to spend money to defend yourself in all that mess, unless you get a group that helps you.
It's hard. That Cox lady, I seen Governor Newsom put out a statement. You can come to California and get your situation taken care of, Katie.
Yeah, but they've told her that they're not going to let her leave the state.
Oh, of course. Were they going to put the cops around her house, make sure she can't leave?
Yeah. Or no, then they have the thing of any citizen can arrest her husband and get $10,000 for arresting him if he helped.
In Texas, oh my God.
I know. I live here. I get to live with it every day. Why do you think I never leave my house?
The ACL and step in. Unfortunately, everything has to go through the courts. The silly laws.
Well, what's going to kill the way they're going to end up killing this is, Roe v. Wade. The reason it got all the way to Supreme Court was because it was going after doctors for helping with this procedures. And the second they went after the doctors really got hacked. And that's starting to happen now because they're not just taking it out on the women who are caught in this situation, but they're also going after the doctors. And they will get upset.
Howard. Jesus. Weird. I got the same thing that I got for 45. I got for this case was with Texas SCOTUS taking it because they stayed her getting her abortion.
Right.
I got the same. I put the cards in different situations. I got the same three: courthouse, doing the right thing, tower. That tells me
Well-
they're going to do the right thing.
Scott's froze. You were
I'm
frozen there. Mhm.
Not in my end.
Well, then apparently Texas has something on the border and won't let Wisconsin's opinions in. I don't know. You froze. You did. You're okay now.
My phone doesn't show it.
Well,
Weird.
it-
Anyway, this is a mess. But it doesn't feel like
if you don't like this, take your 10 best friends and all go vote in November. We get a Democratic House and a Democratic Senate, and this will become law, and the Supreme Court can't do jack shit about it. So,
I was listening to Jasmine Crockett from Texas
yes, I know Jasmine. She's great.
on Mark Elias's podcast, Defending Democracy or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She totally believes Texas is not a red state. It's all the voter suppression.
It is.
Makes it that way.
She's right. Well, if you get out in the boonies, it is. But we have
it's
now.
the same here in Wisconsin. You get out in the boonies, it's all red.
But if you go straight up I-35, if you go through San Antonio, Austin, even the counties now that are north of Austin, they've had so many transplants that they're turning that area blue. Then you get up to Dallas and Fort Worth, and you keep going right. You've got that, and then the voters over in Houston. I don't know what happened over there, except I think they didn't fight hard enough for the mayor. And then El Paso's completely blue. And what else have you got? I mean, you've got the boonies.
Yeah.
This is all the guy they call Bush's brain. It's when they came in after Bush got elected and said the Democrats hadn't done the redistricting properly, and they redistricted outside of the year that it should have been done.
Okay.
So you read on Hunter Biden?
Yeah. He got indicted.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask if that's really going to go anywhere.
Which, I mean, there could still be a deal before it finishes.
Well, it just gives the Republicans something to say. Look what they do.
Yeah. It
They
could
pay
get
back their loans.
thrown out, but it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No one on this planet, including Roger Stone, has been indicted for tax. Hunter Biden is. Right. Makes a lot of sense, people. Okay. Hunter Biden getting indicted. What's the outcome of Hunter Biden?
I got for the outcome for Hunter Biden, not the case and all that stuff, but for him himself. This is the devil in normal deck, and this means beating addictions, and that it's going to turn out okay for him. It's a rough sea for him right now, and but just when the courts really hear the case, he's going to be okay, but it's causing him a lot of mental anguish.
Yeah. That's pretty obvious. He's been through a lot. Okay. Page of Swords, King of Swords, Five of Wands tells me the case should have never been brought.
Right.
I think I have a victory. So Six of Wands, Judgment, and Queen of Swords. I see a victory for him.
Mm-hmm.
There's a victory there with the Judgment on a ruling.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, I have the Chariot, Strength, the Sun, and the Devil. I think it gets thrown out. Or may not even a deal or something I don't think it goes full trial or something like that. It like it feels like a good it's a good outcome. I don't see it, any jail time. I think it gets
I
thrown
don't
out.
see it getting close to that. I'm going to see if there's going to be something come out about the people who pushed this on him.
And like it feels like like they filed a dismiss or something, but how many people on the grand jury? It's just over 50%, right? To indict.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, over 50% have to say yes to
Well,
indict.
was he indicted by a grand jury or was he indicted by the agencies that brought the case? Because for a grand jury to hear it, at least in this state, it has to be a criminal. They don't have civil grand juries.
Well, he could face jail time. It's a felony. They brought 9 felonies or whatever, so it's a criminal. They did it.
I asked a different question. I asked if they're going to find out who did this, like track it down, and it's going to become a scandal that's going to hurt someone's life and professional reputation. I got yes, the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, they will find out what was hidden and who was doing it. It's going to go back through a woman somewhere in this deal that they're going to find out she did it to try and, bring good things into her life. And it's an offer she should have passed up. So that's all yeses, that they're going to go after whoever. They're going to do a background story and find out who brought this and get them.
Yeah, it's totally nonsensical. Especially, there's so much evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they were inches away from a deal before, and now they bring 9. No, I just it doesn't show me any prison time. It's like it feels like it.
I think it's going to get thrown out because it's going to have no merit. He paid the taxes. He had the gun less than 24 hours, and he never even had any bullets for it. So,
yeah, when it goes through the process, and
it's just a show trial for their base. Good for you, Geek Hillbilly. I'm glad you got your eyes fixed.
Yeah, I can't believe Weiss even did it. This makes him look bad. Right. John Durham lost too.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it gives him more money on the books to be a special prosecutor and get paid yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I know. It's been so horrible for Hunter. How can you move on? Could you imagine everything he's been with and try to stay sober? It's got to be so stressful.
Well, you just never know who's coming at you with what when you've done everything you're supposed to do.
Okay. Louisiana sheriff who won by 1 vote. Louisiana sheriff. So they have to have a redo?
Some judge says they do, but that's one of those things going to take forever to go through the courts.
Louisiana sheriff. Oops. Election. Who is this? Trying to find this quick.
Mm-hmm.
See what it's about.
Okay.
Oh, judge voids result of Louisiana sheriff's election decided by 1 vote. The recount produced the same result, 1 vote edge of 43,000 ballots. Wow. That's crazy. And you say every vote counts, right?
Right. Every vote counts.
Republican by single vote is in order to run. That is crazy. He won. Yet a judge is having a redo.
I don't think it has. I think it
Okay.
has more to do with the color of his skin than the one vote. So maybe I
Henry
should.
Whitehorn.
Huh?
Henry Whitehorn is his name.
Mm-hmm.
Whitehorn. Okay. And the guy's name is John Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
Parish invalid. Nicholson's saying there's ballot fraud, says the judge. God, that's crazy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
What are we going to do? What are we asking about Henry? Will he win again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will Henry win again in a redo election? What? You don't speak Duke Hillbilly. I see him in the chat.
Yeah. He got his eyes fixed so he can see now.
Henry Whitehorn, redo election for sheriff in Louisiana.
I don't like my answer. I got no. But it's going to give him more power to come back to do something else. But I got no. And when I laid the cards out, I also saw that he may appeal it to a higher court and they'll throw out the earlier decision. So,
Honestly, that's what I would do. I would appeal it.
mm-hmm.
Right now, he's in dismay.
Dismay, yeah. Well,
Dismay. 7 of Cups, 4 of Swords. Basically, feeling like he can't believe this is happening.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, going in front of the judge here because of the vote. 7 of Pentacles, King of Swords, Magician.
Mm-hmm.
Standing his ground.
I think he's going to appeal it.
I think, what's that?
I think he's going to appeal it. No.
Yeah, that shows an appeal with
Mm-hmm.
9 of Wands, King of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. That's
Mm-hmm.
appeal. In the end, it feels victorious.
Mm-hmm. I had Magician right side up was at the end of his thing. So if he appeals it and doesn't fall to their scam, he has a chance.
Willow Whitehorn will not win at first, but it will appeal. Native American influence here also.
Okay.
But yeah, in the end, I have 6 of Coins, the Sun, Queen of Swords,
Mm-hmm.
and the 7 of Swords. It feels like a winning an appeal to me.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't like anything. If he wants to, if he lays down, he's going to lose. If he appeals, it feels like he wins.
Yep. It's really hard when you've run a whole campaign, and even when it's really close, it's hard to lose one that's close. It's hard when you win one that's close, but when other people start playing games with it afterwards, it's even worse.
Unbelievable. Like 45. Oh, he's not a quitter. Good. Good. Okay. Best story of the week is Jim Jordan demanding all the docs that Jack Smith is on January 6th. And he's not going to get a thing.
You know why they're masking the faces when they're letting those out again, don't you? Because most of the people who've been turned in that the feds found were turned in by family members.
Yeah, there was a few.
Well, there's a lot. And the thing is that a lot of these family members threaten them. And that's when they finally say, well, we can either have the feds take them away or live here under threat.
It's 45's correspondence. Okay, thanks, Lisa. Jones not moving out of Florida. The Satan will be gone eventually. Yeah, it's going to take a lot to redo the course, though, unfortunately. Hang tight if you can. Hopefully you're not in a flood zone. There's been more and more reports out there that climate change, that there's going to be a lot of flooded areas. Rising sea levels up to the century. They have no clue if it's going to be 50 years or 10 years, how high it's going to go. But it's definitely rising and melting. Karen grew up in Clearwater. Well, I was stationed in Fort Walton Beach for 3 years when I was in the Air Force. Matt Gaetz's area. Okay, looking. Christina grew up in SoCal. Couldn't afford it, retired in Oregon. Love it. Beautiful. I've never been to Oregon. But it's blue, it's got to be great.
No, it's a pretty country.
Okay. What else is going on?
Well, Gino put it 10-12. She didn't put it in caps. That's why you missed it. I've been hearing there's a false psychic running a channel that is writing a book about how easy it is to fool folks. Have you read on this person yet? No, because I don't know who the hell they are. And first of all, I can tell you, yes, it is very easy to fool folks if you don't have any integrity. And there are a lot of them not a lot of readers that I ever watch, but there's some out there, because I went looking for 2024 predictions, and there were some people saying some weird stuff.
Yeah, just whenever you listen to a reader or a false one or whatever the case would be, use your common sense. If it sounds crazy, dismiss it. It is crazy. Stay out of fear-based stuff. We're moving forward. We're not going to have 45 in presidency. Never happen. We're moving forward. We have the war on women. We have the war on voter suppression. We have the war on rights. But no. Yeah, fool, scam, empty bank accounts. The only ones that are foolish are the ones that say you need a spell to cure your ancient curse that's been put on you 500 years ago by the witches in Paris.
Your negative karma. But
we can all move on our own things. We can release anything we need to release. It's all up to us.
Yeah, when someone says, I can fix you, that's like priests and ministers saying you'll only be find redemption here. That's not a good way. It's got to come from inside.
Yep. Oh, I'll get back to that. Common sense. Do the math. Common sense is tough, and tough on this planet lately. Too many people believing Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes and those crazy ones. And 45.
And anybody who listens to Steve Bannon as if the man, God, that guy's creepy looking. He does look like the human version of venereal disease, but he really,
Oh, I'll come back. Wait a minute.
What's the biggest events coming in 2024?
Yeah, we can feel it. There was some. Oh, I know it. We know George Santos is on a revenge tour. He's spilling tea on anybody. Everybody. Funny. Okay. Biggest event coming in 24.
I'm going to put this one in the garden, so I'm going to change cameras.
Yeah, that takes a full spread.
Because
there could be a lot of things. 45, climate. That the earth is flat. Thanks, sweet darling. We figured it out. The earth is actually flat. Don't take that to the bank.
And our cats are pushing all of our good stuff off the edge. Let's see.
Cats. Oh, there's so many cute cat videos with the curiosity that they do.
Oh, I know.
The 10 Commandments on the to-do list. Okay.
You want to go first?
No, I'm still thinking.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go because I already threw the stones. A lot faster throwing stones and dealing out cards. We're going to start in the heart because the heart's really the entry to the whole garden. And when there's a stone in the heart, you count it. And it's only the mind is completely in the heart. And this says that our hearts and our minds are melding together and we're getting a much more whole heart. And the path forward for us is spirit. And that's a lovely place for that to be. There's going to be an incredible balance of energy come out of this. And our values are going to be caught. Mental actions are our path to abundance in the coming year. And this is kind of at the base. It's the root, and the sacral chakra has the earth. It has the body, which is this big stone here. It's in the root and the sacral. And it says, much of our human energy is going to be freed up to deal with creativity, which means I think there's going to be less of the terribly distracting things going on around us. And we're going to be connecting to physical form and finding a new level of security. That's what our body is saying in this. These are all really positive things. And the go for it is the clarity. Our thought, and people, this is this whole thing about the blue light stuff coming in and waking up everyone's intuition. Intuition's going to have a whole lot to see about how we feel about things. We're going to be tying to the cosmic wisdom that's needed for us at our very base. And we're going to have all the creativity that we need to move forward our intentions. So I think a lot of this blue energy that's coming in, that's shifting people's attitudes, it's going to tie people much more closely to their intuition. And it's really, really going to be strong. There's going to be a real awakening of positivity, very positive things coming forward. And it's not just on the material plane. Those things are going to happen, but there's going to be a whole new beginning of energy rising through all of humanity during the coming year. Looks really positive, Scott.
Excellent.
And in case you don't know, guys, I can't. It won't let me read politics. If try to roll it politically, the stones just roll off the garden. They don't like it. But the biggest event I think coming in 2024 is the sort of what we call ascension, which I really think is just expansion of the human mind. What you got?
I think I see that too. So when I throw I do 3 lines of each and then an outcome, but I'm taking each line as a different event in this case. And I see that too with Ascension. Wheel of Fortune, 8 of Cups, and the Hangman is a changing, people walking away from the old because of what's been done to their hangman mentality. I think more and more people awaken. There's a bigger change in the human psyche coming in 2024. There's going to be more people imprisoned. A lot of people were defending themselves, legally, seeking help, 2 of Wands, and imprisoned with the 8 of Swords.
Which deck is that, Scott?
This one.
Oh,
I can't remember the name right now. The box is somewhere, but there's going to be a balance coming within. It's continual work, though. Or what does this mean? So 9 of Coins, 3 of Coins, and Knight of Swords. It's continual work. Continual work to balance the chaos in our society. So it feels like the disinformation, there's going to be continual work on the disinformation within the FBI, cracking down on different things. It feels like it's continual work on that yet. In the end, there's going to be huge revelations on 45. 3 of Swords, King of Coins, Page of Swords, Page of Cups. There's going to be a huge thing come out with him. It's going to shock the world, I think. It could be incarceration. It could be passing. It's something big.
Does it limit him being able to talk? If it limits him being able to talk, I'll take any form of that. I cannot stand that man's voice.
Yeah, it's getting really old. But 2024 is, when I looked at 2024, I do still see a lot of hurricane, tornadoes, flooding, all that yet. I still feel that. I mean, this has become our normal lately, unfortunately. But the biggest thing is our election next year. What's going on with the ex-president, the disinformation. So it feels like it's all tied in together. When people start seeing things and awakening, it all helps. So it feels like eliminating him from the scene helps the evolution of our planet. People wake up.
I think we had to have him so we could see how low people could go.
Yeah.
To see how to get a master class in low, unusable frequencies.
We need to get rid of these dictators.
Yep.
More leaders in the Democratic side need to keep plugging it. It seems like no one ever says it. It's like, yeah, vote for me, but they need to start pushing the thing, vote Democratic to get things done. Everyone, up and down. No one ever really talks about that on their stage. It's all about vote for me, vote for me. Vote for everyone. And what is it? All these GOP state houses are all broke. Michigan Republicans are broke. Minnesota is broke. Arizona's broke. How's Texas's GOP? Are they broke?
No, unfortunately.
Plenty of oil money?
Yeah. There's plenty of white guys trying to pour money on the fact that within 3 years they'll be the minority in this state. So
it's true, Karen. 45 brought the dark side of a lot of people to light. Like I think we've all seen it. Friends I thought were friends showing their racism.
Yeah, I think that's what shocked me the most, because I came down here and the racism was so just out in your face. And I had not noticed it when I was growing up in Illinois. But when I would go up and visit, people would think now that I lived in the South that I would listen and be sympathetic to what they had to say. They were shocked. It changed me from a Republican into a Democrat. So
did you see that Revelations Friday, that 45's guy they had testify? He paid him $900,000 since April. Mostly out of his PAC to testify and do behind the scenes work or whatever. But unreal. He charges like $1,600 an hour or something.
No, he just got bought off. They can write it off however they want. He just got bought off. So
yeah, that ain't gonna go well in front of Engoron.
And Gorin can mention it in his summation that wasn't a credible witness. So
yeah, I think Michigan's.
Yeah, I think Michigan's pretty.
Michigan's turned blue. I feel it. They're doing too many good things for people to not see it. Where am I at? Okay. We looked at that. Let's look at Kevy.
Oh, this ought to be called the "How Low Can You Go" reading. You know, Kevy's not a nice person.
How come I keep losing track here? Right.
I'm going to see if he's going to be effective in seeking his revenge. Just by pulling his fundraising away from the Republicans, he's effective.
Okay. Kevin's going away. Bunch of money in his pocket, in his pack.
Oh, yes, he's going to seek revenge. Whoa. He's going to bide his time. He's going to put it out judiciously. He's got all the patience in the world. He's planning it. Thinks he's going to control absolutely every bit of it. And it's going to be all who he wants to go after. It's going to be his own choice. He's kind of, in a way, a free man. And, you know, he has no spine and he has no real beliefs in the first place. And the only reversal is there's some women that are going to bring it out and shock the world with what they know about him. But yeah, Kevin's going to take it out on everybody he can. He doesn't think they defended him.
Oh, yeah. It also came out that McCarthy was whining and dining and spent a lot of his PAC money on travel, resorts, and
Mhm.
wrote it off as entertainment. So he's been living the high life off of this PAC money. But they technically can't use it for self. They can use their PAC money for getting other people elected, supposedly, right?
Now that he's not an elected official anymore, there's a time limit that he has to divest himself of that money. And there are groups, educational groups, libraries, universities, things like that, that you can give the money to, or other campaigners. But you can't keep it to like make your house payment.
But the elections commission, do they really do anything about anything?
They can't because they've been stripped of having even numbers since back since when Trump was in, and they have no effective way to police it. They used to, trust me. I used to fill out, I ran a couple congressional things, and I had to do the filling out of those reports, and I poured over them because you don't want to get in trouble for that. Used to be. Now,
so I got King of Coins, Page of Cups, Wheel of Fortune in the past. So I think he's got plenty of money in his pack to do whatever he wants to give, to make changes the way he wants. But I don't think it's going to have the outcome he thinks it is, because I have the Five of Coins, 10 of Swords, and the Hermit. It's basically the Fool. So I think him leaving is going to have a negative influence on the party.
Yep.
What he's going to do. In the end, it feels like he wants to say, I have the King of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Five of Wands. It feels like doing a little chaos on the Democrats. Or Wands are usually Republicans. That means he could take on not electing idiots on the Republican side, too.
He certainly is going to go against anybody that's part of the MAGA crowd.
Yeah, he could work against Gaetz or these other people that shut him down. Actually, that's where I feel more, because, like I said, with Wands are more. I associate Wands with the Republicans. So the Five of Wands is a lot of chaos. Government kind of doing the right thing. So he actually might use some of his money to get rid of some of these, put money towards getting rid of some of these fools.
You don't think him having that kind of money available to him, and that might be part of why the ethics group is going after Gaetz so hard, because they've struck some kind of deal in the back?
It could be. He could be ethics. He'll
make sure they get well paid for, well supported for whatever they do.
Yeah. So looking at what I put down on my Five of Wands card is going after rivals.
That would make sense.
Yeah. It feels like he could be going after rivals with his money. Another thing of burning it down. Trump's base is donating less. Good.
Well, and look what happened. You know, when they didn't convict Abbott in Paxton in his thing, and now Paxton's going all over the state spreading his money around for anybody who's running against someone that was in charge of that thing to get him.
Another man that needs to go away.
Yeah, fight, 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 big bag of rats.
Did Otani make the right choice going to the Dodgers?
Who?
The superstar. I think he's Asian. I think. I don't know what.
That looks like a terribly Japanese name.
Could be Japanese, but he's a pitcher. He can hit like a maniac. The Dodgers just gave him $700 million for 10 years
Okay.
to play baseball for the Dodgers. So he's making money. He's got a contract. Of course, he made the right choice.
Yeah.
Liz says he's Japanese. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
They have very, very, very well trained players over there, except that, well, they tend to be smaller, but there's a lot of Japanese that are pretty tall.
Oh.
Because everybody's taller than me.
Yeah, he's a maniac. He's quite an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, $70 million a year. As TV contacts are drying up, they give them that much money. Some can't even pay their bills. There was one, I can't remember which one it was, but they said they had to get a $50 million loan to make payroll at the end of the year.
Mm.
The TV contracts are drying up.
I can't imagine why baseball's such a scintillating game.
It's paying their people way too much money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's look at that horrible man, since everyone's talking about it.
Do we have to look at Matt Gaetz, or can we just ask if he's going to go away?
Let's just look at the ethics investigation into the person we shall not name.
Mm-hmm. Is he Beavis or Butthead? I can't ever remember which one he looks like.
Butthead's the darker one.
Okay, then it's Butthead.
Has the darker hair. The Packers play Monday night, Jeff. Green Bay Packers play Monday night. Monday Night Football. But they won back to 500 in the playoff hunt. I know, right, Water Lily? All these men get tons of money while Brittany Griner gets 100,000 a year, whatever it is.
Right, and a trip to a Russian jail. Yes, he's going to go away. He's delusional about it. He thinks it's not going to happen, but justice is going to come get him. He's going to try to say it's all based on lies, but they're really building a solid case against him. But this says he's going to go away, but there's going to be still a lot of questions swirling around about whether it was justice or not. But I'm going to ask a question we started with McCarthy. I'm going to ask Evans the money behind the ethics group finally going after Gaetz, if it's McCarthy's money.
Yeah, they got a female that is speaking. We got a testifier that is speaking about him. There is a male and possibly a female, but it feels more like a male testifying about money that he used. And then I have my justice card. They're finding balance in this situation, so they're getting plenty of testifying, but I never did. And in the end, he will have a tower. So he will have a failure. There will be a lot of conflicts with the Five of Wands about him. And I think he's gone.
I think he's gone. I also asked the question, was McCarthy's money behind it? And it was like no one really wanted to go do it. But then something sneaky came out of the bottom. Yeah. Somebody came in at the last minute in the shadows, got everybody all in the same boat to row the same way. And there was money involved in it. And they're building a strong case against him. It was McCarthy. That's part of why he's left. He's just going to get them.
That could be twice now. I had the King of Cups coming in. Last time we read on McCarthy, and now too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he might be changing to a King of Cups energy,
Mm-hmm.
kind of doing the right thing, but it's revengeful.
What?
No, Brent Carson will not be VP. I don't think it even gets to that point. I don't think 45 has a chance.
Mm-hmm.
When the DC trial starts, he has to be in court every day.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be convicted about the time the RNC picks who the nominee is. So, no. Sleepy Ben Carson. He was the worst. What the heck did he do in the 45 administration? Except nap through it.
I don't remember.
Carson, the human answer to Valium.
Mhm.
Running mate? No. I don't think, even if 45 was elected again, he couldn't even get a cabinet together. He couldn't find enough people. He's got what, 10 sycophants?
Mhm.
All he pardoned? Okay. Nikki has the greatest energy forward. Okay.
Well, if you put someone on a stage with 5 mannequins, they're going to look good if they move.
Will Nikki Haley be the GOP nominee next? When they decide that? Isn't it like July?
Yeah. It'll be July or August. I think the Dems go first because they're in office.
Okay, Nikki Haley.
No, because she's a woman. They'll want to pair her up with a man. And it's their judgment about women, you know.
But I don't see DeSatan as the nominee.
No, they're going to pull some governor out of somewhere.
Pull some donor.
Governor.
Oh, they're going to put someone else in yet?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She has to get elected by the delegates. And they're such a misogynistic crowd in the first place.
Knight of Pentacles. Weird. It is so weird. She's got the, if you look at it, she's got the Chris Sununu. He said he's not running.
Yeah, but they changed their minds.
True. I don't know. A couple of years ago, I seen a different person. None of them was on stage. And it was 50, 60-ish male. And I don't see him yet. I'm not sure if it's Sununu or not. It's like, no one shows a boom to me. It's like she's got the energy when I'm looking at the cards, but yet the establishment truly doesn't want her.
Mm-hmm.
The
GOP. They
GOP.
don't. She took their Confederate flag off that. I mean, they'll never forgive her.
Dorothy
she did the right thing. They can't handle that.
I mean, someone can pop in and be on the ticket. Just won't be, part of the whole process of these states, but we really piss off people.
Mm-hmm.
If they go through all these primaries and like, oh, by the way, Chris Sununu is getting in April.
Oh.
It will piss off a lot of states.
If he goes in April, he's missed the super primary on.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying. I was just throwing out a date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it probably would be best to get in before Super Tuesday, as far as that goes. So, like in the end here, I have the Queen of Cups, King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and Four of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just say Nikki's the Queen of Cups, but then it's got a crossing of the King of Wands with a different offer, and then the Four of Swords is like, no, you're not getting the nomination.
Mm-hmm.
So weird. It's like there's energies there, and then like the original cards are showing the Devil on a King of Swords with the Two of Pentacles. It's like the establishment doesn't want to float their money towards you.
No.
We want the man, the male devil energy.
Right.
And also got a walking away situation. It's like a King of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
The Men of Money, Seven of Wands, causing confusion to make her walk away. So you probably won't see ads going towards her.
Well,
I don't know. I look at the stage and I'm like, I don't see any of them that are presidential.
no. And then they put Vivek on there just to make the other ones look much better than they were, and they still look pitiful.
I don't think it's Chris Christie either.
No, there's no way anywhere close to their base would vote for him.
It's not Magaswamy. It's like the guy is not on stage yet. I don't know. I wish I could be more positive. No one shows me. It's chaotic. It's like there's a surprise coming yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think 2024 is going to be straightforward.
No, nothing in this year. It's all going to be full of sudden changes and trying to keep people off center.
Yeah. The establishment's telling Magaswamy to get out.
Yeah, because he just shows how really stupid they are.
Well, he's stupid himself.
Well, I know he is.
Liz Cheney may be the queen.
Nah, that was a blondish looking queen, but
she's gonna do her thing. Dorothy thinks Sununu will run next time in 4 years. Yeah, I mean, Liz Cheney will do her thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Sununu said he wasn't running. Yeah, it would make no sense to no one to get in before, after March, whatever, next few months. Let's just throw on it for the heck of it. Will someone else get in yet?
Okay.
Want to try that?
Yep.
See if we can narrow down this confusion. No, I don't think Manchin will. The GOP side, will someone else get in?
I got no. So pick from the charms on that stage. I've got no.
The Chariot.
No. But there's people out with money trolling to try and find someone to take it on. But nobody wants to go into it. And there just isn't time. There isn't time. And because of what's going to become revealed about the Republican Party, somebody's got to run in there. Let's see. Let's see if they're even going to run. Thank you, Dorothy, for letting us know this is not going to run. She pays attention to things.
Yeah. He said he's not. I seen he backed out.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins in South Carolina if Nikki loses out? It's not Rand Paul. I'm not getting any new cards of a person getting in.
No, I think their nominees, they're going to put him on, even if, no matter what, even if he's sitting in criminal court.
So we've heard about it, that Youngkin and Kemp was getting thrown money at, but they haven't, they never jumped in.
No, Youngkin got his ass kicked in the election, so he's going nowhere.
In my vision, before anyone got in, it kind of looks like DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's just my ego. I look at him, he's like such a weird man, and it can't be him.
Well, I got that there'll be someone on the ballot. The Republicans are going to win somebody.
The only thing I got in the end was the Star, Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and Hierophant.
Sounds sort of Trumpy to me.
It sounds what?
Trumpy to me, somebody who's already had the role.
The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
Been in government.
Mm-hmm.
Ace of Pentacles bringing in the offer. But he's not a star.
No, he is in his own mind. I got that. What I've got is that Trump's name's going to be on the ballot. Yeah, it's even though he's a sick, twisted little critter, they're completely delusional, but they think they're doing really, really the right thing with the sun, and it's going to lead to nowhere. It's going to lead to complete indecision. So as long as he's got a possibility of having his name on there, it's not going to be anyone else.
Well, yeah, maybe that's it. The 45 actually wins or gets up to it, but then someone else has to be selected.
Yeah,
maybe
something.
maybe he goes down.
But I don't think it's any name we know.
It's like 45 doesn't do anything but wins these primaries.
Then his name's the one that's going to go up at the convention.
But then maybe he's not on Earth. And they have to make a change.
Listen, they think JFK Jr. is coming back. You're giving them a lot of credit for mentality they don't have.
It just feels so chaotic.
It is.
That I can't find one person that's going to be the nominee. It's not normal because you got a crazy convict running. I know the Satan's killing everyone in Florida.
Don't say that. I have a good friend that lives in Florida, and I don't want her dead.
Well, I mean, as a whole, insurance rates, not being not helping people out, all that. Yeah, Trump will be convicted. It's like maybe he wins everything and then he gets convicted in DC, and then RNC says no, we can't have him on the ballot. He's a convict now. That could be it. That he wins everything, and then he gets convicted, and they're like, no, he's done. And then they have to change. It feels like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I seen that too, Liz.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This dude said Lindell is actually Jake.
They also, that's those guys that go around and interview MAGA people, and you really wonder where they come from. And there was this one woman that had this ridiculous red hat that didn't help the shape of her face. It'd be like me wearing a big red hat on, and it made my face a little rounder. And she was saying, "Oh, it's Trump. It's Trump. It's he's the one." And the guy said, "Why do you like Trump?" She says, "Oh, I hate politics. It's got nothing to do with politics, but he's just a really good man." And you're talking about electing him to be president. How can you say this has nothing to do with politics? But
yeah, I don't see DeSantis winning anything either. But this feels like it's going to be complete chaos, and then, but at the the RNC can put anyone on, and then the ballots are.
no, they can't. Once a person's, that's what's so weird. That's why state by state they're having to go, can Trump even be in the primaries? You just can't take another name off. If a name's on there in many states, you got to vote for the guy even if he's dead. That's how Claire McCaskill got elected. Her husband died during the electoral process. He still won, even though he was dead. And then they just ran her. But they had to have another election. But if he's not there and can't fulfill the duties, then it'll go to the one that's alive. But I don't think it's going to come to that he'd have anything close to what Biden's going to have. So
something's got to change. Let's say, if someone's running up to an election in 2024 and passes away before the election, someone else has to be in the ballot.
They have a vice president.
But they're not voting for the vice president.
No, they're voting for the ticket.
True.
It used to be that you had all your people ran, and whoever got the most votes was the president, and whoever got the second was the vice president.
I don't know. It's something there was a state house, was a couple. They don't change the ballot. Well, I mean, let's just say it's before the ballot's even printed. Let's say 45's, looking like it's going to be the nominee, and then Poopy's gone, let's say. They'd have to make a change. Someone else would have to be on the ticket before the ballots are printed for November.
Unless the law says it's whoever got nominated during the primary. And then you have to go through the whole weird process of the voting, and then you decide what you're going to do. But I don't think you can throw them off. If it says this is the people that were chosen. I don't know for a fact. I know how the laws run here. And maybe in other states, the governor could appoint somebody or, whatever. But the only reason an R or a D is there is to give them a pack that allows their name to be on the ballot. In Texas, we had a case where, I don't know how it happened, but we had a Republican really running what was a Democratic Party, and he was threatening to let their pack go. But if he did that, then the Democrats couldn't run anyone as a Democrat in that thing. Every person have to be running their own race, kind of almost a write-in ballot sort of situation. And the Dems found out just before this guy did it. They roared in and stopped it from happening.
All 45 does is lose.
Mm-hmm.
Albeit, we've heard everything behind the scenes. that they truly hate him.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're praying he goes to jail.
I don't know.
I think there's always got to be a plan B. They don't want someone from prison. Let's say he goes to prison.
If the
And
law doesn't say that you can't be a prisoner and be president, the qualifications for president is they have to be 35 years old.
right.
They had to have been born in the United States. And that became an issue when John McCain was going to run because he was born in the Canal Zone in Panama.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if it was 2020, but I'm sure it's happened before. I think it was 2020. There was a House guy that passed away before the election was finished.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up winning, but they had to redo the election.
Mm-hmm. So we're in intellectual waters we shouldn't be wading in, Scott.
I know, but it's a scenario that could happen. That a prisoner wins the GOP ticket.
Mm-hmm. Well, whoever thought we'd have one? You know,
He should have been a prisoner January of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 136. Bring out some inspiration. Interesting thoughts to think about.
Maybe we can find an answer before we meet again. Okay, what are we doing now?
Inspiration.
Oh, okay.
We're already an hour and
6 minutes. Mm.
Tiger King for prison. There you go. 45 will never win. If he is on the ticket, my guide said he would lose by 50 million. Thanks, Jeff. It was an interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Split. Victorious celebrations. An exciting new challenge. Okay. These, so I have 6 of Wands, 4 of Wands, and the Page of Swords. And in this deck, it's talking about congratulations, you've done a great job. It's time for a celebration and getting abundance for your hard work. And excitement is on its way. It just feels like reward yourself. Take those challenges and victories and embrace them.
Mm-hmm.
And if something goes wrong, remember the embrace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those are those 3 that came through today. Embrace the job well done.
Okay, I got spirit relationships. And this has to do with intuition, connections, signs, and inspiration. Should be our inspiration this week. And the detail on this is when this card appears right side up, which it did, all forms of spirit communication are present at this time. This may include connections with angels, mediumship, channeling messages from spirit guides, or simply powerful connections with your inner divine self. You're being encouraged to pay close attention to the signs from the other side. You may also be called upon to study coursework and develop your intuition at this point in time. There is more likely an excitement to deepen your connection to the spirit world, and it's an opportune time to explore that. So it's just be open to your intuition.
There you go.
That's what this year is going to be about.
Yeah, the old right wingers are really upset with Taylor Swift.
Aw, and I'm sure she's crying all the way to the bank.
Yeah, making $1 billion. What was it? Some right wing were saying, why isn't she tackling climate change?
Why aren't you tackling climate change? If you think it's such a deal.
They're just such morons. It's unreal.
So what's your week got, Scott, other than working too hard?
Just working too hard. I have no time. I was just telling you beforehand, I want to get my updated COVID shot, but I can never get done on time to go to the VA.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Well,
I might have to look into a Walgreens or something.
My 12 candles starts on the 9 candles starts on the 12th.
Tuesday.
Yes. Yeah, Tuesday. It's at 7 o'clock in the evening. It's a premiere. So whoever the reader is, for the most part, they may or may not be there with me. It depends. But I'll be in the chat and you can look at it all. And we're going to, thank you, Water Lily. And I'm still doing my 12-month readings, and it's looking like a good year.
Yeah, I really believe it's a good year too.
Yeah, 2024 is going to be an interesting year. Lots of people are changing and shifting what they've been doing and looking beyond, looking beyond where they've been, and they're trying to expand themselves. It's going to be good. And it'll go to the solstice. It starts on the 12th. It ends on the 21st.
Yeah.
And Scott's one of the days. Your day
will be what? Saturday?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. W5? Yeah. I think I'm next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yippee yippee.
If you belong to my
Thanks,
channel,
Carolyn.
if you've subscribed to my channel, you'll get a notice every day. And we look forward to seeing everybody and having you come over and join us and see what it's all about. Get your intentions lined up, because when I do my meditation, I invite you to bring your meditations in. So, and everybody have a good week.
Have a blessed week. Yep. Thank you. And positive thoughts to 2024. Right. I believe it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Both believe it's there.
Yep, it's there.
Love and light. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.